I came across this trend on YouTube. I was just kind of scrolling through and I decided I want to challenge myself. Now this one I kind of caught my attention because I was saying to myself, I need to drink more water. So maybe this would be a good challenge for me. You know me, I decided to sit down and do a little bit of research and dive into this a wee bit deeper. What I came across was that water is not just good for your survival as a human being, but it's also good for other aspects of the body. So I asked the question, does drinking a gallon of water a day for 30 days help you? I started this journey and I wasn't sure what to expect from it. I didn't know if anything would really change, and I drank morning, afternoon, and early evening, because if I drink right before bed, I'll be up all night peeing. Now, I was able to document a little bit along the way. I'm not very good at remembering to document things sometimes, but I got a little bit, and I'll show you that. The first day, of course, it was nothing too exciting, although it was hard for my mind to just get into it, you know, because I don't really like the taste of water. Now, I'm not sure if I'm the only one in the world, but water to me is bland, and I take it for granted. I know I take water for granted, but it was bland, and I try to add things to it, and even then, you know, I kind of go to the other drink options, really. I have to have this all drank by 6 p.m., which I always do, but yeah, every day is different. You don't have to be perfect, right? Now, by the end of this all, I definitely appreciated it a lot more, and I'll share why at the end. So I went to Google, you know, the good old Dr. Google and information overload Google, and I typed in, does drinking water help, and what does it help with? And this is the things that it says it helps with. It helps with feeling full. Well, that kind of makes sense. It also says it helps with acne, which I was very excited about. It also mentioned that it'll help with your sleep and your energy. And so that to me was a big one, because I don't sleep very well and I don't have a lot of energy. So I was excited for this. I wanted to see if this would really help. And of course, it would help with your period, fewer headaches, and hopefully shed a few pounds. Now, I was interested on the period side of things because I do get quite sore, quite painful ones. And so I was excited for that as well, because I want to see if there's anything that I can do, you know. Now, I do think that I went into this expecting, you know, all the good things to happen, like on this list. And I was really excited, and I think I had my expectations really high because, you know, water is good in general. It's supposed to help you. So I figured water, this should help. Been drinking tons of water. It's been feeling really good. I have to go pee lots, and this has been really good so far. I was a little surprised with the results that I got after the 30 days. And later I will mention why some of these things may not have, you know, changed for my body. Day 8 of drinking water. So far what I've noticed is that I'm feeling a little more energetic. I have to go pee a lot. I think my skin's a little bit better too, so just washing it all, like the nasty toxins in my body. So yeah, it's pretty cool, right? Let's see how the rest of the month goes. So I want to give you a couple of tips, and just before you go into this, if you want to do this type of thing, just to make the process a little bit easier. Now, there's a couple of things that I did. I bought a water bottle that actually had, you know, the times on the side of the water bottle, and I had to reach those times by a certain, you know, limited by a certain time of the day. And so I would drink that, and it's also my mindset, if I don't reach that goal, I just feel upset with myself. So I actually think that helped me to drink the water, you know. And one more little thing that you might not have thought of, but filling it the night before helps with the next day. So when you wake up, you're not filling it, or you don't have the motivation to fill it, even it's there and you grab it and go kind of thing. So if you're doing it the night before, get things ready to go. It's just like making a list for the next day. Get it ready to go for yourself. So the water drinking thing going on is going really well. I will say that the tap water that we have in the house here is not the greatest, but it's all I've got. So that's what I'm working with, and that's what I'm doing. So So it's going really well. It's making me feel refreshed and ready to go. Now, so with that all said, what were my results and how did this all pan out for me? A key note here is that everybody's body is different. So if you're going into this and it doesn't work or something is worse for you, it's because you're different from another person. So you need to understand your body and what it's telling you. And not necessarily do you need to drink a gallon. Maybe it's more, maybe it's less, but you need to figure that out for your own body. And I'm in no way a health, guru or anything like that, or a doctor, nurse or anything. So don't take that and just go talk to your doctor if you're a wee bit worried about something. Okay, so let's get to it. So what were my results? So let's start off with the good stuff. Let's talk about headaches. I used to get 3 or 4 a week and that was awful. I honestly thought there was something else wrong. And so I was just about to go to the doctor before I did this challenge, but I said to myself, it's probably just water. And so by the first week, I'll tell you, I started getting less headaches, even the first week, because my body was getting hydrated and I didn't have to worry, and it wasn't stressing my body, and my body was telling me something. So it went down from 3 to 4 to, at least in the first week, it was like 1 headache, which was crazy. By the second week, I still had 1 headache. I get headaches from all different things. It could just be a stressor, throughout the week. So not necessarily is your body dehydrated, so that's why you need to listen to your body and understand it a wee bit. So with the water, it definitely did help with the headaches. Now I tell you, I felt full. It did help with making me feel full and not constantly want to eat. Now, constantly want to eat is more so snacking and just binging out on food because, you just are bored or something and something to do. So whenever I had the water, I'll tell you, it definitely filled me up, and it was also more of a distraction for my mind. I was going to the bottle of water instead of a bag of chips, kind of thing. So it definitely helped that way. Which leads into losing weight. I didn't lose a ton of weight. Actually, it wasn't my goal to lose weight with it, and so I don't need to lose weight. My body is healthy. If I'm eating junk, then it's not healthy. You know what I mean? I'm gonna get into the time of the month, and that was definitely a lot better than it was the previous month because I get a lot of nausea, right before it, and the nausea didn't necessarily go away. That's just like an indicator to my body, okay, it's gonna happen soon. But it was more so the pain. It wasn't as bad, and I actually felt a little bit more energy from it all, and so I think that definitely helped in that aspect. Now we mentioned energy, it definitely helped a wee bit with my energy. I have some other personal health issues that will drain my energy quite well, and so I will say that it did help because I felt like every time I was drinking half a bottle of water or whatever, and I was drinking it, I just felt like I was ready to go. Now, we're going to get into the things that didn't change, and I'll tell you a couple things didn't change, and there's reasons why, and I'll mention that right after I talk about the things. I felt more bloated overall, and I will say that is totally confusing to me. I will say, when you're drinking the water, you start to feel a little because your body's taking it all on, and I felt super bloated, and so half the time I just felt, gross in that aspect. So I'm not really sure why that happened to me. I also felt sick sometimes just because there was so much water going into my system. So I think it might have been a wee bit too much for my body. So that's again the thing, you need to pay attention to what was going on. And I did this test to see what would happen for me. The acne, I'll tell you, I've always had acne in my whole life, and it's been frustrating because I'm constantly dealing with it. But I'll tell you that it didn't change for me, and I was kind of frustrated because I was hoping that, cleaning out my body, the nasty stuff and my skin and my pores, and I'd just feel healthier, and it still wasn't it just felt the same, if not even a wee bit worse. And so I don't know what happened there either. That was me personally. I know a lot of people have said in the past that it really does help, but it hasn't helped me so much, and I think this is the reason why. So just recently, towards the end of that challenge, I decided to cut out gluten. And gluten, I've always been fine with breads and, all that kind of stuff. And I was just thought to myself, I'm feeling sick for the past 6 months. Nothing's been helping. And so I decided to cut out the gluten. And between that and drinking more water, it has definitely helped me. And I'm not going to get into that side of things. I'm just mentioning that maybe my acne and my feeling bloated and sick and nauseous was down to the gluten aspect, and I didn't know about it, and those things weren't working with just drinking water, you know what I mean? and like the sleep aspect as well. I didn't sleep very well, and there's just aspects that you need to take into account, that it's not going to all work with one thing. Yes, drinking water is important, but you have to understand your body as a whole. And that's what I wanted to get down to in this video, is to really help you understand that it's not just taking one piece of the puzzle and thinking that's going to work for you. It has to be all together. You have to understand yourself. I think I want to do more of this kind of 30-day challenge situation, because I think it's really good to challenge yourself every once in a while. It takes a lot amount of effort to put into it in this one single video, right? So I think it's definitely something that I'm going to be doing in the future. And so if you would like me to do a challenge, please let me know in the comments. Good one, guys.